Welcome. We are the experts of very little. We know just enough to be dangerous. My name is Ben Scholler. To my left over here, if I can get the right note right here, my left over here, this is Jacob Mosby. And over here to my right, this is Mr. Jonathan Legend Stonebarger. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Doing very well.
Woo! First time. How you feel about it, experts?
Been talking about it for a while, a few years with you now about wanting to do something like this. And us three, we've always had good chemistry on video games and everything. It's exciting.
John, what do you think?
Man, just have to sit and
That's all you need to say.
see what happens.
Let's go ahead and move
yeah,
on.
of
We're going
course.
to our first. Oh, go ahead, John. Sorry about cutting you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
If
We're 3
you
seconds
guys,
in, and it's already starting.
well, I'm going to let you know. Throughout our time on this endeavor, we're going to talk about a lot of things. Talk about dad stuff. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about just life, would you rather moments, everything we see on the internet. We're just going to make it a big thing, a whole bunch of things connected into one. But one thing we definitely are going to talk about is how bad John is at fantasy sports, and that will be brought up quite a bit. He is the cellar dweller, as we like to say. So we'll talk about
Two-time
his
champion.
team. It's pretty
Two-time champion.
disappointing. It's pretty depressing. So
Hey, hold up your number, Mosby. How many championships do you have?
John, we don't talk about
Okay.
championships
No, that's
when Donald Trump was still a Democrat. We don't talk
no.
about
You're good. You're good.
Well, speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, what do you guys think about Micah Parsons to Green Bay? Tell me what you think. Just initial quick reactions here, quick things off the top of your head about that trade.
I'll go first since John's a Cowboys fan and we know he's been getting riled up. It's been boiling in him. I think, my honest opinion, it's a smart move on both ends. Because Jerry has made bad, and John's going to disagree with me. Jerry's made bad business decisions on some of these contracts did before. Well, Green Bay, in the history of their time, they went and got Reggie White when Brett Favre was 27, won a Super Bowl. They went and got Charles Woodson for Aaron Rodgers. They won a Super Bowl. So are they trying to redo the theme of, hey, let's go get an elite defender to go with our quarterback that we think pretty good to put us over the top? So to me, it makes sense for Green Bay to get that elite defender because you got a young stud quarterback. And then it became personal with the Cowboys and Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. So go get first-round picks. And then they got a good run stuffer. I think it makes sense for both sides.
Yeah. Yesterday, had we had this conversation, I would have probably lost my ever-loving mind.
He probably ran naked in the streets for about 2 hours.
Oh,
It's
my
livid.
brain was going 18,000 mile an hour. I couldn't even focus at work. Everybody kept coming in my office. I'm like, if somebody says one more thing, I might throw something at them. My stapler was in reach, and I was ready to chunk it.
Dang.
But honestly, I do agree. It's a smart move for the Cowboys. Like Mosby said, I mean, it became personal between both Parsons and the Joneses, which, had it gotten worse, would have only affected the chemistry in the locker room. I said it earlier on before the draft. If they were going to do it, now was the time to do it before the draft, get picks, and roll on. But I didn't really think it would ever come to fruition. I didn't think that was reality at all. But I've asked myself, and I've almost made myself believe, I believe the defense is better without him. And I say this because the one weakness we've had is rush defense. Well, you throw Kenny Clark in on the defensive line, and that's what he's going to do. Not only is he going to help stop the run, but he's also going to wreak havoc on the quarterback.
What
Yes.
the heck did you just say?
Now hang tight, because even then, I mean, we draft Ezaraku in the second round this year. Now he's a rookie, he's unproven, but he has the potential to be really good. You tie him with Dexter Fowler. You got Marshawn Nealand, Sam Williams. You've got speed.
Oh, hold on, John.
on
Didn't
the
Sam
edge.
Williams get in trouble for drugs? So he's probably going to get suspended, correct?
nothing's come. I mean, whether he has or hasn't, I mean, he's not Rasheed Rice. He's not suspended
Is
yet.
Micah Parsons not a top 5 defender in the entire league?
Micah
He is
Parsons is a
Top
top 5. Yes,
five
he is.
pass rusher. Yes.
Name
Yes.
the other 4. Name top 5 defenders. Give me the top
You
5.
got Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt. I mean,
To me, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons. That's the top 3.
well, you could say the top 3.
Chris
Absolutely.
Chris Jones is right up there too.
Right, but you've also, I mean, you could throw out
But
Nick
Chris
Bosa.
Chris Jones plays a different position than those guys. So,
Mhm.
but that's the difference. Where I can see as Cowboy fans being upset, because if you traded for a defensive tackle inside guy like Chris Jones that's going to stuff the run and pass rush, then I would be excited. But Kenny Clark is going to stuff the run. So
But that's been our weakness for so long. That was a good move to improve that part of the defense.
It has, but that's also because your weakness has been so long because Jerry and them have missed on draft picks the last couple of years.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's a reason why Mozzie Smith is. I mean, we reach for Mozzie and
what do we call him when he got drafted? Maxi Pat or whatever, because we had no idea who he was. No idea who he was.
Well, and that was the thing. Like nobody knew who he was, and then the draft, it was one of those guys that just got elevated late, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's one of the greatest." And well,
Jerry. So you're in agreement that Jerry has missed on draft picks recently? Yes, John.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He has for years.
So who do you think won this trade?
Man, it's hard to say. You could look at it both ways.
Do you like
Green
it for
Bay?
You?
I love it for Dallas's defense. Absolutely.
Okay. So if that's the case, let's look at the trade here. Okay. So they're sending Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks and a defensive tackle in Kenny Clark. You just said that he's missed on drafts.
Mm-hmm.
So is he not going to miss on these 2 first-round draft picks who are, by the way, going to be back-end draft picks probably?
That's if he keeps them. Because he made the comment in the interview yesterday. He said it. Don't be surprised. It doesn't mean that I can't use these picks to go get somebody to help me now.
I'm glad you said that, John, because what have the Chiefs done with their draft picks the last few years? And if the Cowboys are smart, because these are going to be back-end draft picks, they're going to combine them to go trade for a top-end player in the top 15 of the draft, or at the trade deadline.
Trey Hendrickson.
Someone's unhappy. Hey, we're going to send you a couple draft picks.
Trey Hendrickson has already been in my mind.
I think in the present day, Green Bay is won it right now at the present.
Absolutely.
But it's to be determined because those first-round draft picks are very
question marks.
High. Yes, but they're all high value. What if you draft 2 all-pro players? Like the Chiefs the Chiefs a couple of years ago when they had 2 first-round draft picks when they traded Tyreek Hill. They got Trent McDuffie, who might be one of the best corners in the game, and they got George Kalafis, who's a top 10 pass rusher. He had 10 sacks last year. So that's where, in the beginning, it kind of like the same thing when the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill. It's like, oh, my God, what are they going to do? What are they going to – well, we won 2 Super Bowls since then, but those draft picks have hit. So if these draft picks hit for Dallas, then the wound of Parsons right now being traded will be non and void. It'll be gone.
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
Let me ask you guys this. Is this not crazy? 4-year, $188 million.
You're talking $47 million a year. See
ya. The highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he has 52.5 sacks in 4 years, the second most sacks in a 4-year period in NFL history.
No, hey, listen, that's why I said he is a top 5 pass rusher in the NFL. Because when we were naming that a minute ago, Max Crosby's name never even got brought up. So
yeah, there's another Max Crosby. If depending on how the Raiders are, what do they want to get? Trey Hendrickson, yes, but I'd rather go out. I mean, to me, those are downgrades. But if Trey Hendrickson comes in and gets you 9.5 sacks, or Max Crosby gets you 10 sacks, and those draft picks hit, then yeah, in the long term you win. But I mean, speaking of this trade, which we will talk about some of this in other segments about bet, like Green Bay might be a attractive bet on a futures bet for a Super Bowl winner now.
Yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
you might get some good value out of that because
Yeah, because
they're
they're not
hot.
going to be like the top pick, but they could
No,
be
they
They
could
could
be.
be a pick
money
for
maker.
sure.
They're going to be an attractive pick right now. And kind of Green Bay. What was the quarterback that ripped you guys apart a couple of years ago, and ain't getting paid $60 million a year, so they're able to give $48 million to a defender.
Well, I mean, when you had the secondary we had out on the field, I could have probably thrown for half those yards.
Is Jordan Love the real deal?
I think he is.
I do so myself. I do believe so
Rank
myself.
him top 32. Rank him. Where it just a rough estimate.
I say he is
Probably
on
12 to
on,
15.
on the line of being top 10, but he could go. It could be below that top 10. Could be above that top 10. I think he's right in that 8 to 12 range.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he could.
Do you think Golden does anything for them? Like does
Absolutely.
elevate them?
He's going to help take the top off of it.
I mean, I think they need to feed Jaden Reed. That's who I think they need to feed.
Well, if he can stay healthy.
Yeah,
I
they
do.
shared it too much. I feel like.
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Well,
They
I
got
mean,
too many receivers. I think they
Christian
need to pick.
Watkins got hurt. I tell you what, and what's crazy is the dark horse that's not even being mentioned in this whole Green Bay Packer wide receiver room is Romeo Doubs, man. He was one that I would like to have seen in Dallas.
See, Romeo Dawes reminds me of a Brendan Cooks type. Just does enough
Yeah,
to be on the team, and not. So I don't see Romeo Dawes being as an elite guy. How I view Jaden Reed as like a Nico Collins.
yeah. I'm not saying that
if he can
Romeo
stay
Doubs is
healthy,
anywhere
that's a
near
dog.
elite. I'm just saying, out of the wide receiver room, he's being the one that's least talked about. But yet he could be one of the more important ones because it's all going to depend on Reed and Golden staying healthy because we already know Christian Watkins has already had issues staying healthy in the past. And I mean,
Well,
it's
they got a pretty good tight end too, and I think it's going to help him.
for sure.
Tucker Craft.
Yeah,
What he's
Kraft
on
is
what he's on my fantasy
he's
team.
good.
So let's give him let's get him some catches.
So, with that being said, this is not an unusual thing for Jerry Jones to do. I think we've alluded to some of us have gotten to watch the documentary, and they've remember the Herschel Walker trade, and that was a massive, massive trade at the time.
Yeah,
People were freaking out, like, what are we doing here?
blown away. I now know after yesterday. I now know how they felt.
So could it have the same impact? Could this have the same? Maybe probably not the same. Obviously not the same impact as the Herschel Walker trade did, but could it work out for Dallas? Or what are the percentage chances?
I think it can if they do it right, because I know John's going to get tired of me harping on this. Okay, look at the Patriots. Look at the Colts in the early 2000s and late 2000s Patriots.
Well,
Oh, we lost Mr.
I wonder
Jacob
where it went.
Mosby.
Well, and just real quick, I'm gonna touch base real quick. I don't know if you saw this, right? And it could be something that is completely wrong. But I saw something earlier today where tied the Herschel Walker trade to this trade here.
Okay.
The general manager or the CEO, whatever title he was at the time with the Green Bay Packers, with the Minnesota Vikings, that helped facilitate the Herschel Walker trade.
Mm-hmm.
His son is an employee of the Green Bay Packers who helped facilitate the Parsons trade.
So there's a lot of weird connections, like I just said a minute ago, where Brett Favre got Reggie White when he was 27. Aaron Rodgers got Charles Woodson when he was 27. Jordan Love's 27. But this will work out for the Cowboys if they start doing the contracts right and they start drafting right, which Bill Polian, who architect of those Colts team, he said how you build teams is through the draft. And that's why the Patriots are successful. That's why the Chiefs have been successful. That's why the Colts are successful, is they're hitting on their draft picks. Are they hitting 100%? No, but they're hitting 75 to 80%. So that's eight out of 10 draft picks are going to be starters for them within the next 2 years. That's how you build a team, because these big name free agents, Well, you can't sign 10 of them.
No, not for what they're being signed for now.
But if you watch the documentary, which I recommend, every great documentary, it's very
Oh,
good. Like
absolutely.
it does not make me want to cheer for the Cowboys now, but it pulls you in where you understand why everybody was such a big fan of him. And then it gives a little side of Jerry Jones where, like, okay, maybe this guy's not as big of an idiot as he is. But one thing I will say about Jerry Jones, and it shows in the documentary, he's a stubborn, very stubborn individual. And I
Very
think
prideful.
that plays into part with the breakup with him and Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
Well, I think that played into part with the breakup with him and Micah Parsons, because
For sure.
Jerry wanted to do the deal without the agent, and then when Micah said no, Jerry was offended. So you know what? Nah, I'm standing my ground.
Yeah. Why? And you bring that up. I mean, it's the same as when Jimmy Johnson wouldn't cheers to Jerry Jones. Jerry
Yep.
Jones wanted recognition that Jimmy Johnson should have been getting, vice versa, depending on who you're talking to. And he said, nah, you can cheer with those guys, but I'm good. I'm just going to sit down here, cross my hands. I'm not going to do or say anything. And, then of course, then you get the rumors of, well, Jacksonville's wanting to interview, Jimmy, and they're interested. Well, who's not going to listen? Who's not going to take that phone call? If they're going to offer millions of dollars, why would you not?
It also gives insight in that documentary of how good of a coach Jimmy Johnson really was at the NFL level.
Oh, 100%. And I saw something. Michael was it Michael? No, it was Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman was saying in an interview just recently after this documentary come out that Jimmy Johnson was the only coach that in a meeting would tell you, hey, you're not going to get treated like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but a third string running back is not going to have all the free reins that Emmitt Smith has. I mean, there's a reason why those guys respected him the way they did. And when they let Jimmy go, and of course Barry come in, they're like, oh, I'm not going to respect this guy. Forget this.
But
It was interesting.
I also like how it shows, like, Charles Haley and Emmett and Michael and them did say they respected Barry Switzer, and
after a while, yeah.
Yes, like, so
Mhm.
like Barry gets a bad rep, but then Michael and them even say, like, no, Barry was good.
Mhm.
But how Jimmy Johnson, how he's, like you said, that's how I am with my youth football team. Stars eat, baby.
And how many national champions for the Sooners with Barry?
Oh, was it?
Well, I mean, listen, let's not talk about how much those players were being.
We don't add national championships on, so your little ignorant little pistol Pete bullcrap on the back.
We don't buy 1947 ones.
Hey, listen, I'm going to get a replica national championship ring from 1942.
It'll be disintegrated too. I bet your boy got pretty tired of that game. Was it yesterday? God bless America. They played terrible. 27-7.
Their star transfer is already hurt.
Yeah,
already hurt.
Saw that.
That definitely threw a wrench in the game plan, because I mean, you got a game plan. Those two quarterbacks totally different.
Okay. Any more on that?
No, we can. I think we all agree. We'll talk more about the NFL. We're trying to every Sunday and recap and go over the stuff. And I think
interesting.
Cowboys.
Sundays were forgotten in the NFL. That's what it's for.
It's coming up soon.
In that order.
Cowboys still stink. All right. Well, we're going to transition right here. We're going to do some college football, and we're going to look at the top 3 games of the week. And we actually have some pretty big matchups for this being the first week. And right off the bat, let's get everybody's opinions on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Miami Hurricanes, a 6-10 matchup. It's at Miami at 6:30 on a Sunday. The matchup predictor has Notre Dame winning 54.9% to 45.1%. And you can see the line right there. You can see the betting line there. I kind of want you guys to go over this and tell me who you think is going to win and who you think is going to win against the spread.
You go ahead first, Sean.
It's going to be hard for me to pick Miami in this matchup. We've got a lot of new starters. They lost a lot last year. I think Notre Dame's going to be one of the better teams in college football this year. It's going to be a good game, but I think Notre Dame takes it.
This is the only game I think Notre Dame loses during the regular season.
Oh,
And like John said, Miami lost a lot of players. But one thing Miami has that Notre Dame don't have is experience at the quarterback. And I think that's why Notre Dame loses this game. His first start, it's on the road. He's 19 years old. Okay, it's on the road, hostile, top 10 Miami team that
Don't forget though, Notre Dame's got one of the best running backs in the nation.
Yeah, I know, and their O line's good, but I think this game's going to come down to quarterback play, which it usually does. Most football games come down to quarterback play and who makes the least mistake. And I think it's going to be. I think at the end of this game, we'll leave feeling better about Miami, but I think we'll also see, okay, Notre Dame's going to be really good once that kid starts to grow up. So I think this is the only game during the regular season I see Notre Dame losing, and it's only because it's his kid's first start on the road.
Score predictions, go.
I think you're going to see a 38-31 Notre Dame.
I say because Notre Dame's defense is very good and it's going to be low scoring, and they're going to try to play time possession control 24-21, last second field goal for Miami.
27-20 Miami is my prediction, which means, let's see, they've got the betting line's got a 2.5 in Notre Dame's favor, right?
Yes,
so
2.5.
So I've got them losing that. I've got Miami. I'm picking Miami outright. So, yep. John, you got them covering though, I think, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sucks to be John. All right, so we're going to go to the next one here, and it's another big matchup, and it is the LSU Tigers versus the Clemson Tigers. I was told today by one of my coworkers who's a big LSU fan. She said, "I bet you that the Tigers win."
Yeah, and I bet you the team that plays in Death Valley wins. So this is the matchup of Death Valley versus Death Valley, Tiger versus Tiger. And in my opinion, this comes down to who has a better defensive line, offensive line, and that is Clemson by far. I think LSU is rated too high. Not saying they ain't going to be good, but I think they're more leaning towards like a 9-3 team because their schedule's a little bit harder. They got to go to Norman at the end of the year. Okay. Well, John Mateer's everything what we do, and we get that offense rolling. That's a tough game. And LSU's offensive line, they had the 5th pick in the draft over the Patriots, right? Lost a couple other pieces. I mean, but LSU always produces receivers. It seems like every top 5 receiver in the NFL is an LSU guy. But I mean, you got Klubnik versus Nessmeyer. This could be the top 2 in the Heisman. But I think Clemson, Dabo, after a couple of those years where everybody's kind of down on him, he doesn't do the transfer portal. He does it his way, some can say it the right way. Some would say, oh, he needs to get with times. I think this is the year. I'm going to go out and say Clemson is my favorite to win the national championship.
No way.
But this is a third-year starter and quarterback for Klubnik. Their defensive line is very good. They might have 3 first-round picks on that defense again. And Klubnik might be the first pick in the draft. And their offensive line.
Did you see the comparison between him and Baker Mayfield's stats? Did you see that? I forget. I saw it somewhere on X, I think. It was very, very identical. So you're taking Clemson, John?
No, I'm mirroring everything he just said, man. Clemson's going to be one of the best, if not the best team in college football. I too have them picked to be in the national championship. Their defense is going to be absolutely just phenomenal. And then, you've got Klubnik, who I think it's going to come down to probably him and Nussmeier for the Heisman Trophy. Man, they're stacked. on both sides of the ball. You can't find a weakness, and if you can, I'd be surprised.
Wow, look at you guys
Uh,
go.
and here's Brian Kelly has not won an opening game at LSU.
You're kidding.
No, he's lost to Florida State twice, and I believe they lost to Clemson last year, did they not?
I do believe so.
Well, it's at Clemson, and if I'm just thinking at it, night game at Clemson, they're ranked high. Clemson has improved a lot, and I did see some flaws in LSU last year. I can't believe you're going against the SEC, Mosby. Wow, you're supposed to be
No,
all about the stinking
no,
conference.
no.
I am not, however.
I am not either. Unless you're Crimson and Cream, I don't care about an SEC
You
team.
could get me out of here with that SEC talk.
What's
Okay,
that? The SEC
scores.
talk's going to roll us into the okay. So scores, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be 31-14.
Wow.
I think Clemson dominates the game.
Yep. Mine was 34-17.
This Clemson team reminds me of the year that when they had Trevor Lawrence, their first national championship, or
Or Clelin Ferrell and all those guys.
they had Colin Farrell, they had Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence on the D line. They're just loaded. They're just loaded. I mean, and this ain't the LSU team that had Joe Burrow in them where they put 60 on everybody. So, I mean, Nussmeier's good, and I like Brian Kelly. I really do. If Venables don't work out at OU and Kelly don't work out at LSU, maybe we can get a marriage going there or something. You know, I wouldn't mind that. But hopefully BV can get it going. So I think 31-14.
I'm going to go Clemson 31-24. I think it's going to be closer than what you guys think. But I'm going to go 31-24. But so we all have Clemson covering. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. How about that? I didn't know you guys were so high on Clemson.
So in other words, since we all have Clemson covering, that means LSU's probably going to win and run away.
LSU will win.
Yeah, we'll probably flip.
That's how the spread usually works and betting works in my experience, you know.
Yeah.
Army.
All right. And last but not least, Texas versus Ohio State. This one is in Columbus, Ohio at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. And the matchup predictor has Texas 53.3%, which doesn't mean a whole lot. Go ahead.
John, you go ahead first.
This one's hard because normally I would throw horns down, but I'm going to have to go horns up.
Ooh.
Listen, Texas, man, you've got one of the best young quarterbacks in college football who I think is the absolute real deal. It's going to be a good matchup, but I think Texas is going to win this one.
Man, this one's because I hate that color orange. Even though I joke with my dad that that's where my boys are going to go to college at. And it's hard to win in Columbus unless you're Michigan and Baker Mayfield. It is very hard to win in Columbus. But I think the defenses are pretty equal. You got Caleb Downs. You got the Simmons kid for Texas. They're very good. I just think it's going to come down to quarterback, and Julian Sayers never played, and Arch Manning's got experience. I think that's I think this is going to be a game that kind of like what we talked about with Miami and Notre Dame. I think it's going to come down to the quarterback, and Julian Sayers, even though he's at home, that ain't Ohio University across from you. That's the old Longhorn, and they were just in the national championship picture the last 2 years. So, and I think Arch. I mean, we can kind of tie this into Dallas. Is Dallas going to maybe tank for Arch to put the star on his helmet? You know, maybe
That would be fun.
Maybe they trade those 2 first-round picks and Dak to go draft Arch. I think Arch Manning is the deciding factor, and I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to be pretty high scoring. I got like 35-31.
Yeah, I was thinking 24-28.
24-28. And I do agree. It makes me real nervous on the quarterback situation for Ohio State. There's no doubt. It's the first thing I looked at and thought, oh my gosh, that's not good. But not so fast, my friend. In ode to Mr. Lee Corso's last pick ever for his headgear tomorrow, I'm going Ohio State Buckeyes, and I'm going to say it is a 31-28 victory for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ooh.
We'll say this about Ohio State. I do love Ryan Day. I think he is an excellent coach.
So you guys picked Texas outright. I picked Ohio State to actually cover because they're 1.5. But we will certainly see on that tomorrow. And obviously, Mosby, go ahead. Let us know what you think about OU real quick. OU by what's the score tomorrow? Illinois State.
OU 52-7. I mean, we're going to have. I think we got to put up 50. I think with how our offense performance was last year, I think we got to come out and we got to put up 50. If we don't score, unless it's a 42-0 game, okay. Yeah. A lot of people are high on OU that aren't OU fans. Some of these people on TikTok expert, because John Mateer, a lot of them think John Mateer is a real deal, and a lot of people think OU has the best defensive line in the SEC. And that defense is a top 20 defense. All we need is a top 30 offense. And there's a 10-2 record waiting for us in a playoff berth. I think Brent Venables has to win 9 games at least to feel completely safe. Mm-hmm. If he's 8-4 or below, I think that the seat is going to be, it might be too hot and he might step away.
Yeah.
But another key one, that because everybody talks about Mateer, but the most important transfer I think we got is old Jaden Knott.
Yeah. Who, by the way, was third on the depth chart to start the season.
Yeah, you don't look at OU's depth chart because it'll say a player or.
Mike Gundy does that for Oklahoma State, and it wears me out.
Speaking of Oklahoma State, John, I mean, you feel good after that performance last night, only winning by 20 against a subdivision team? I mean,
listen, I wouldn't necessarily say that I feel good by any means, because I was expecting both quarterbacks to play, but I wasn't expecting Zane Flores to play that early. But then it came out later on that Henny has a broken foot or fractured foot, so he's going to be out multiple weeks. So, I mean, two different types of quarterbacks. I mean, the game plan, a little bit different for Henny than it is Flores. I mean, he didn't make any dumb mistakes, just wasn't over the top with it yet. So hopefully
it wasn't sexy.
Not at all. But I'm hoping that, I mean, yes, the caliber of opponent that we had wasn't the greatest neither, but hopefully he can build on that and just continue to get better throughout the weeks. The guy was highly touted and highly recruited for a reason, so hopefully it'll start to show.
No, I'm gonna say 45-7 OU. I'm gonna say 27-7 OSU. Any last comments, boys?
27-7. I think Malak of the week is Oklahoma State 27-7. Isn't that
right? Last comments.
No, I'm looking forward to the football season. Looking forward to these conversations. I'm going to try to do a few a week. I mean, we're going to incorporate a little bit of our life into it because, I mean, I know me and Ben are very involved with our kids' as youth sports. John's kids are too old now, so I mean,
old man over here.
But John's kids are still involved in sports. I mean, so that I'm going to be excited about that aspect where we get to incorporate that into our talks and stuff. I mean, because like our thing says, we're experts at very little. That includes in life. I mean, the conversations we have sometimes we don't know what the hell we're doing a lot of times. So.
Hey, listen, I am in the car business for a reason. I can fake it until I make it.
Well, like they said, we are experts of very little. We know just enough to be dangerous, and that's not only in sports, that is in life. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, all those good things, and get us out there. It's kind of what we're doing this for, and just to see where it goes. And we're just gonna have a good time with it. We're gonna make it a hobby. So,
It's gonna be fun.
yeah, it is. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you, John.
Yeah, no, appreciate you guys. Hey, just real quick, guys, he said like and subscribe. We're on every platform. I don't know if there's a platform you can't find us on. Just search us and.
I can think of one, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Listen. Yay. Yeesh. That's a whole nother one. We gotta do that later.
Only one of us will be able to make money on that one.
Anyway. No, I can put that on our link tree if you'd like.
Oh, Jesus. All right, you guys have a wonderful week. Watch some football tomorrow, and Sunday night we're going to try to do a kind of an NFL preview. So you guys are amazing, and we will see you later.
See ya.
Peace out.